Everybody, what's going on? I am Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary, revolutionary astrologer, bringing you your celestial wisdom. This is for the week of November 17th through the 24th of 2024. And we're coming off of a full moon in Taurus hangover. Yeah. Hopefully, it wasn't terrible for you and not too shocking. I'm actually recording the video during the full moon. So we'll see what happens because Uranus is involved. So anything goes, right? Anyways, but this week, some big themes. We've got Mercury entering shadow for its retrograde that will happen on the 25th, which of course we'll talk about a little bit more. We also have Pluto officially in Aquarius on the 19th. So just in a couple of days. And then the sun is in Sagittarius also in a couple of days. So there's some big movement that's happening. Pluto in Aquarius is going to be here for 20 years. So we'll have plenty of time to talk about that. The other theme, my hair keeps getting in my face. The other theme I want to remind us of is Mars. Why? Because Mars in Leo is not an uncommon theme. However, it is going to retrograde in December. So keep paying attention to some of the themes at early degrees of Leo that are popping up. It has to do with the heart. What do we desire? What do we feel loyal to? Where are we motivated? Are we actually able to manifest our heart's desire? We also, at this full moon, have Saturn stationing direct. So I believe that we'll start to see some of these internal daydreams, hopes, and dreams, and all of that, because Saturn's in Pisces, can start to manifest now. Saturn, remember, likes to set boundaries, whereas Pisces is ruled by Neptune and Jupiter, which kind of expands, doesn't see boundaries, that sort of thing. But when you bring these two qualities together, the boundaries with the boundless, then if it allows us to dream big and access all the kinds of imagination and all kinds of ideas. And then Saturn says, let's put some order to this chaos, or let's put structure in place here so that we can actually manifest these hopes and dreams that we have. So pay attention to how that starts to show up. Also, as we know, here in the US, we're coming off of another week fresh. It's still pretty fresh in a lot of people's minds off after the elections. And we can already see how this new president-elect is creating all kinds of, we'll say, dramatic change. And we'll see what happens. But that also stirs up a lot of things for people when we are either not prepared for it, we're unsure, we feel out of control. That's that Pluto energy. Very often it forces us from outer circumstances to face whatever is in front of us. And that's not always comfortable, right? Especially, like I say, if we feel out of control, because we as human beings love our security. I know I do. I'm a control freak. I fully admit it. But I've learned I have tools. I have tools to be able to navigate that so it doesn't spill over too much into my loved ones and my life and that sort of thing. So let me start also by saying I'm going to be live on Monday. If you have a chance to tune in on the 18th, and that is for 1-2 Radio, I'm going to be playing with my brother from another mother, Oliver, and he and I are going to talk about whatever shows up, because that's what we do. Maybe nothing. You know, I kind of feel like we're Seinfeld. We're a show about nothing when we get together. We turn nothing into something, you know. Think of that as the Saturn and Pisces direct energy. We're turning nothing, the everything, into something, right? But also, I just want to interject. It's snowing right now on this full moon, which I love, because that means I'm going to get on the mountain this weekend, and there's going to be some fresh snow. I'm super excited because those of you who follow me know I love to ski. My beloved and I are a little addicted to it. So I try and ski whenever I possibly can. But anyways, that's my hobby that I fall in love with all the time. So let's start with card for the week, right? I do love these because it allows us to have an energy to meditate on. And very often when I do these recordings and I reflect back on the card and that sort of thing, I'm amazed at how wonderfully intuitive it is. So here we go. All right. And as you know, I'm using my Celtic deck that I've had for so many years. And it looks like we have the Fool. Yeah, the Fool card. You can see that. And the Fool is all about new beginnings. I like this card for this week because we're coming off of this full moon where we release things to create space in our lives that was no longer serving us. Depending on where this full moon uh, entered your chart or affected you, varies. If you want a little inkling, a little taster, you can look at my social media where I post new and full moon memes based on your rising sign. That gives you some idea of where this full moon could be affecting you. So if you, here we are coming off of the full moon, we're releasing, creating space. Now the Fool says, go where angels dare to tread. Don't overthink things. Start something new. It's time. You created the space. You did the thing that needed to be done. Now follow your heart. No matter how crazy this leap of faith might seem, go for it. And it's time for a new journey. Have that courageous conversation. Start that business. I hear you about Mercury being in shadow. But I'm saying if it's something you've been thinking about for a while and you're waiting for that right time, this is a great week to release something, to start something. The time is now. Take that leap of faith. There is so much potential and opportunity that can show up, especially as the sun enters Sagittarius, which is all about adventure. And it's all about expanding our horizons and the search for meaning and having experiences. The thing I love so much about the sun in Sagittarius, it says, don't just talk. Let's go and create an experience behind all this so that I can learn more. It's the eternal student and teacher. So this Fool card is so supportive of that, and that we can treat life, as I like to say, as a grand experiment. We're just adding different ingredients to see what works. And if it could blow up in our face or not, it could be the best thing that ever happened. So we want to live as if we were a child again. Dance more, laugh more, let your heart go free. Freedom. Sagittarius loves freedom. So the Fool card is all about freedom. And the way to use this card to meditate on is if you're struggling with any self-doubt, any worry, fear, dread, that sort of thing, then the Fool says, you know what? Be daring, be carefree. Allow yourself to go, fuck it. I got no fucks to give. Let's just try this. What's the worst that could happen? You know? So this is an opportunity to trust the universe that it will catch you and it will escort you all along the way. So take a chance, see what happens, you know? I especially think of how, I keep talking about how relationships are up for so many people. And it's not just our personal relationships, but also relationship to things. And so what we're being offered to do is take a chance, get out. If you're single, go mingle, or tell somebody that you've had your eye on, you've admired for a while, that you really like them and you want to see where it goes, you know? If you're coupled and you're wanting to go deeper in your relationship, talk about the project or the thing that you want most in the relationship. Like, where are we going? What can we say live together, or can we get married, or can we have kids, or whatever? I mean, whatever it is that makes your relationship feel deeper for you, the perfect time for that. Take that chance. So you'll see that Mercury this week, I mentioned the sun is in Sagittarius. Pluto enters Aquarius. But we also have a couple of other aspects that are happening. We have Mercury trining Chiron. That happens on Monday. And so most likely leading into the beginning of our week, and the moon, which rules Monday, is in Cancer, we're going to have this energy that stirs up some things from our subconscious, from our past even. And it says, okay, what are you learning? What are you wanting to teach? What have you healed? What have you been working on healing over this time and these experiences that might be of benefit to others, that might be able to educate or help others? And so really give yourself permission. If something from the past shows up, work with it, not to beat yourself up, but to say, look how much I've evolved. Look how much I've learned. Especially, like I say, as Pluto enters Aquarius, Pluto is that planet that says transform or die, right? Surrender or die. And when it's in the sign of Aquarius, originally Aquarius was ruled by Saturn, right? So it wants to take these mental constructs as an air sign. It wants to take these ideas and put it into form. Anybody who knows an Aquarius, like my son, when they get stuck on a particular idea, there's not a whole lot you can do to change their mind. But it's in the essence of wanting quality and fairness for the greater good. right? And so when we have Pluto in Aquarius, we just had Pluto leaving Capricorn, which is all about structures. It was all about government or establishments that needed to be transformed. Now we're moving into a time where Aquarius, ruled by Uranus now, but also with Saturn, where systems are being destroyed, rebuilt. Think of the Tower card, right? So if a system is outdated, if it doesn't work anymore, we're going to see things being swept away so that a new system can take place in order to support the evolution of consciousness, in order to support the evolution of what humans need. So we're going to have that theme running through the next 20 years. Yes, it's going to be science and technology, and I'm hoping for this alien reveal. Yes, I am an alien lover. I truly believe in them. And I would love for them to finally show up, or at least for this big revelation to happen, so that then we can all go, yeah, I knew it all along, you know? But anyways, I digress. But we also have Sun in Scorpio just for a little bit longer until it makes its transit into Sagittarius on the 22nd. But we'll have Sun in Scorpio making a trine to Neptune in Pisces. And so for a brief moment, we might have the opportunity to be able to be energized by going really deep into our psyche, into the more spiritual nature, maybe escaping into a time where we can access maybe the unseen realm a little bit easier. And in doing so, our intuition, our psychic work, it becomes such a revelation for us that we get answers to things that maybe we had big question marks over, you know? So that could feel really good. And then, especially as Venus is now in Capricorn, taking things really seriously when it comes to our giving and receiving of love, what we value, making a sextile or an opportunistic aspect to Saturn. Now it says, we've got a moment where it's like, yeah, I'm putting my dreams into reality. And this is exactly how I'm going to do it and who I'm going to do it with. And I want to align with people who take it really seriously and who can dream big with me, but also it energizes me to be able to work with others in a way that they take it just as seriously as I do. You know, there's a lot of commitments that show up during this time. So you may find that if you've been waffling around, do I do this with this person or not? You may find that, yeah, they give you a signal. You've made a decision within inside of yourself that says, this is who I want to partner with to make this thing happen. And like I mentioned, the sun in Sagittarius, when that happens, we should start to see a little bit more adventure. We should start to see more opportunities. We want to expand our hearts, our minds. There's a real theme here with the sun in Sagittarius about being more fun loving and expansive, because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, our planet of expansion. We do have to watch out for overindulgence, especially during the holiday season, which is coming in, and Mercury retrograde and Mars retrograding during the holiday season. If you need to purchase something, do it now. I would say this is the week to do it. Remember the Fool card. Just go for it. Don't overthink it. You know, if you need to take that chance and buy maybe some early shopping. I know Amazon is doing their Black Friday week this week, so it might be a good time to take advantage of it. If you don't have budget for it, find other creative ways to show people you love them, that you care about them during the holidays, that support your budget as well. But I'm just saying, if you are going to purchase things during the Mercury retrograde, Mars retrograde time, keep in mind that you buy the warranties, get a second opinion, have a second set of eyes looking, whatever it might be that allows you to know, I'm purchasing this, but I may have to return it, or I may need maintenance on it, or this may not be exactly working the way I want it to. I'll give you my quick Mercury in shadow example already. My radiator hose blew last weekend in my car. Now, the protection of the universe is it didn't cost me what I thought it would. So I'm grateful for that. But my car is too old, it's out of warranty, and I just don't feel like purchasing a new vehicle. So I got it fixed. I'm hoping that that's all that will happen during this Mercury retrograde. And I know a few other of you have already shared, there's been some things happening for you with your vehicles, with electronics, things like that. all very mercurial. We learn to laugh, we learn to go with it. I'll leave you with this note as we finish up for this week in particular. The undercurrent, the underlying theme here for this week is watch where the mind goes. That is one of the things with Pluto and Aquarius I cannot emphasize enough. The emphasis is going to be on training the mind. The mental activity is going to be huge. And we're going to start to really believe that we can manifest our thoughts because we're focused on it, because we get the intuitive hits, because we are that powerful. And you'll start to see more and more things show up that have to do with the mind. So train it. Train it to stay where you put it. Train it to focus. Just like going to the gym, you're training those muscles. Might get a little sore at times. You might still get that negative self-talk, but then transform it into what it is you ultimately want to manifest. All right, you guys, I hope this helps. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Come find me at jamiedawn.com, 1-2-listen, and I will see you when I do. Have a great week.